cooled anymore. And yet another tornado warning for the Little Rock area.
Barry, I'm taking the camera, pointing it over there towards the airport. Is that where this is?
I think, no, go north of, north of that. Go left of that, right there.
Yeah.
I think it's that storm right there.
That's the reason why they put the tornado warning.
Yeah,
new tornado warning, velocity. It's embedded.
Yeah, it's embedded in rain.
Yep.
There could be a little, I don't know, there could be a little debris dropout even with that one.
Yeah, there's oh gosh.
It could just be a radar dropout on there, but this is capable, folks. If you're in that East McCain Boulevard, around the I-40, I-30 split, Baptist Health, North Little Rock would be in that area.
New tornado warning.
To the north of I-40, Lakewood, and then points off to the east, East McCain Boulevard over there as this moves off to the east. And there is some rotation within that storm right there. A little bit harder to tell, but I'm going to go back to the radar. It's already moving very quickly now.
Tornado warning, new one here for, I think, White County. This includes BB and Augusta and McRae. There's a new tornado warning in effect for that area too. Again, that's the tornado warning here in the Little Rock metro area. That's the appendage that we're following right there. And I want James Bryant is in the potential path of this. It's going to go just to the south of Jacksonville or near Jacksonville. So again, that's in the potential path. Let me get up here a little bit. And it has that ominous hook signature to it here. And so again, that's the tornado warning storm. Furlough, Jacksonville, maybe as far south and east as Lone Oak, and we want you to stay in your tornado safe place now. But on radar, we don't see a strong rotation, but that may be moments away and can be changing. Notice this as well, the new tornado warning, Barry. This is the storm that went through Little Rock. They did not issue a tornado emergency. They did not issue one saying there's a confirmed tornado. That's what you see in the purple. What you see in the red is what we typically see here in Arkansas. These tornado warnings where Doppler radar is indicating one, which means this storm at the moment has kind of calmed down a little bit, but it still can produce a tornado without much notice.
Todd, they're saying that we need to look at velocity scans that are way
higher
or pointing way up because it's so close to the radar site.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And I'm gonna go to that.
I'm gonna do that.
There's a signature. Yeah, out to the east with that storm.
I got it.
Yeah, can you show that? It's this storm. So whatever it looks like down at the surface, we're going to shoot the beam up because it's so close to the radar image or radar site right there. So if you're in that area, you need to get in a safe spot. This time to the right side, to the east side of 167. Todd.
This is the higher tilt. We've also got a report now of one injury from Pulaski County Emergency Management of this. We just got a report of one injury. Let's hope it stops at that. This is a higher tilt that kind of shows us where that rotation might be located. Barry, is that exactly where it would be? Because I'm trying to look at maybe a little further along than that.
It's displaced from the. I think they're concentrating on other storms and.
I'm just looking at that right there, and then I'll compare it here to the velocities. And yeah, that would be it, right?
I think out east of 167 east of Sherwood. Yep. I think that's the area.
Yep. So that right there.
Yeah. Right out here. Echo. There's 161.
Yep.
Right along there. And so this will go, Todd, this will go not that far south, but some south of where the last one tracked. If there is a tornado being produced with this storm.
Yeah.
We'll continue to watch it. It is a new tornado warning here in the Little Rock and North Little Rock area. We are, the rotation is long gone from here. That storm is long past, and now it's out to the east. It does not have the signature, perhaps, that the other one that went through and obviously did a lot of damage. Debris-wise, I don't see anything with this storm. But there is rotation within that storm. It is a supercell storm, and those little tails that we've talked about on these storms are troubling. And right down at the base, the point of that is the rotation center there. There's rain being pulled around that. And if it went through this area earlier, it would be this area with this storm as it moves off toward the east. I'm going to see what the National Weather Service says about this. Yeah, they've not said anything more about it. there's a lot of damage, folks, in West Little Rock and in the area of Kamek Village and Colony West, and then moving over into North Little Rock. And there's some more of the damage pictures that we're seeing, and it's just absolutely sickening.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That is the Colony West area, though, looking from that parking lot there where the Kroger is.
That's Breckenridge Drive that heads north. And those homes there.
So obvious tornado damage, and that's catastrophic damage. I mean, that is defoliate, no foliage on the trees, and trees sheared off, and so that makes you think it was a very, very strong tornado.
I'm sorry we paused, folks. We have friends and family who have been affected by this, that homes have been destroyed. And so if there's hesitation, we're trying to keep our composure too. But we still have a job in front of us. And that's what you see behind me. Jacksonville, there's that hook echo there. That other storm, the one that did come through Little Rock, and that's furlough. Let's hope that weakens. But Barry, that has unimpeded flow into it, and it could start to rotate vigorously at any point because there's nothing to the south of it, and it's moving into that environment that is ripe for tornadoes. So the Weather Service is getting out ahead of it, as they should. Now, with the storm that moved through the Little Rock metro area, there's Georgetown. This is the tornado warning. It is no longer a tornado emergency, but there's a radar indicated tornado, and it looks like it's very disorganized right now. Griffville, there's West Point, Higginson, McRae. If there's a tornado, it's just south of Griffville, heading towards Georgetown. So Georgetown and White County, the far southeastern portion of White County, please go ahead and take your tornado precautions right now. It could ramp up in intensity, and there's a new scan that just came in, and it does not look as intense as what it just did a little while ago, a few minutes ago, it was a half an hour ago when it came through the Little Rock metro area. But this is heading towards Georgetown. Please take your tornado precautions immediately. Just do it, even though the rotation is not quite as strong as it was. Let's go back into the Little Rock metro area. In Little Rock, I'm going to look at the radar here and see if we can sound the all clear, especially for those that are involved in the cleanup efforts and rescue efforts ongoing. So Jacksonville, I don't see anything conclusive here, and we're very close to the radar. There's the radar there, Sherwood, and I know we need to probably look up a little bit higher, but I think the storm is getting further away from the radar so that we should get a good sampling of this. So right now, the structure of this thunderstorm is very, very powerful. It's a supercell thunderstorm, and when it has this look in this environment, one can form rapidly. We saw what it did in Little Rock. It went from barely anything to a monster tornado just like that. That's what could happen. Not saying that's going to happen, but that's what could happen. Little Rock is no longer in the tornado warned area. Little Rock right now no longer in the tornado warned area, but it's eastern Pulaski County. This is the Lonoke County line, Pulaski County, Jacksonville, Furlough. That's I-40. It's just to the north of I-40 and getting ready to cross over Highway 5, that potential tornado. So that's the other one. Again, these are the two supercells. We still have some rain to go in the Little Rock metro area, but Barry, I think the severe weather threat in the immediate metro may be winding down now. So that's at least some good news, but still some lingering rain. So two areas. This one, if you had to rank them, this one is the less aggressive storm, least strongest, and this one is potentially getting going because it's entering into an atmosphere very favorable. This is why the PDS Tornado Watch was issued today for particularly dangerous situations for violent tornadoes. And that's exactly what we had, a violent tornado come through the Little Rock metro area. And it has a history of producing damage, and it could tap into more energy, produce another tornado at any moment, these two storms. And we will not feel like we're in the all clear until these storms get completely out of the Channel 7 viewing area.
Right. We're going to be watching those.
I have more video. More video of the tornado on Storytelling.
Yeah.
This is
from our friend Joe Klein, and he was taking this from the clubhouse at Pleasant Valley. And man, you do not want to see that. That is a large tornado, folks. And it went south of the Pleasant Valley neighborhoods there, but it emerged out to where Rodney Parham and I-430 come together.
It's a gut punch, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And you know, you never want it to hit, and you never want it to hit, especially in a populated area, and it has. And so this is what we're looking at right now. We're going to continue to watch these storms, but obviously that is a very large tornado that has done considerable damage right here in Little Rock.
Do we have live pictures?
All right, I don't know if we do, but if we do, let me know. Let's go back to the storms that are here and out to the east of Jacksonville. There is that rotating area as it moves. Will continue to move up Highway 5 or across Highway 5 corridor north of Furlough. And this will be just the tail end of this storm, which is certainly capable of producing a tornado. In most days, I would say, oh, yeah, there very well could be. But a day like today, I think for sure there could be velocity product on that. Probably not as strong as it was, but that is an area that we're going to be continue to watch. It's not very far from the radar site, so we should be able to be seeing something. But there's inflow back to the radar site right there. So it would be very near the Furlough area, I would say, with this tornado warning. Given the atmosphere that we have today, any of these storms could cycle down and then they could cycle back up. As this cell came into the Little Rock area, we were saying, wow, this doesn't look like it had the rotation that it had earlier around Hot Springs. And then all of a sudden it ramped up into that monster tornado that we saw come into our area there. So up around Georgetown right now, Augusta, eventually over to around McCrory. This is still an area of concern. That's tornado warning. Augusta, you are technically in the tornado warning. Off to the east now of 67 corridor and to the south of the Cabot area, that is that area of rotation. And if you look at where the last one tracked, it was just about 2 to 3, maybe 4 or 5 miles north of where this one is tracking. I'm not saying that there's a tornado on the ground with that, but that is a supercell. And again, they can have a tighter rotation, producing a tornado, and they can relax some too during their lifespan. The air out in advance of it is just warm and moist. It's just fuel feeding into this storm. And so that's why you see, and I'm going to back out on this just a little bit, but go to your safe spot if you're in that area southeast of Cabot. This is the south side of this boundary that has gotten really, really active. So all this air down here is very, very unstable. You're starting to see some storms come out of southwest Arkansas. You may see others just on the south side of this start to form. This is one of those days that, unfortunately, will go down in weather history in Arkansas because all the ingredients come together. We don't get this very often. We don't get large tornadoes very often here. We get frequent tornadoes that are usually smaller. But today, although there are just a few storms out there, I think these could be both large and long track. That storm started way out here in northern Pike County. So it has possibly been producing a tornado for a good bit of that, maybe not in some instances, but it's the same exact storm. We saw one not too many months ago, the ones that were up in Kentucky, and it was about a year ago. It started here in Little Rock. The supercell formed in Little Rock. We didn't have a tornado here, but it went all the way up to about Louisville, Kentucky. Same storm. And these are the storms that can be long tracked like that. There are other storms up into the northwestern part of the state. I will have to watch those as well. The wind field is still not great, but these are back behind this most unstable air mass. And so we're really going to watch this area out in east central Arkansas and keep a close watch on it. But for right now, the 2 tornado warned storms, we'll zoom into them. It's north of Furlough, and this is Graham Road right here. And this is Highway 89, and that is the circulation center. See that right there? That's it. It continues to move off to the northeast toward Mount Tabor. And so I'm just going to zoom into that area right there. There's Furlough, and it will continue to move off to the northeast. And if it is producing a tornado, we hope it's not, but you need to be in a safe spot, and let's assume that it is. On days like today, It's not going to be there very long. We tracked the storm that moved across the Little Rock area. It took that long to go through. We saw it. It was doing damage. Then it was just north of our station here, and then it was in North Little Rock and gone. Imagine a car driving at 50 or 60 miles an hour. It goes very, very quickly. And then on up to the northeast, Griffithville over to Georgetown, trying to look at the velocity within this storm. There is still some outbound wind, excuse me, near Georgetown there, but a very broad circulation. But I would say that area along Highway 36 near Georgetown would be the area. If there is something, that's where that tornado would be.
I think that storm up there in northeast, getting out of here, I just see things kind of calming down a little bit. I'm working on getting a phoner with somebody who's been affected in West Little Rock to tell us exactly how it all unfolded, that hard-hit area in the Colony West Sturbridge subdivision. But the storm up there in Georgetown, the structure, as you've been saying, just does not look as intense as it did. But the one south of that, I think, is the one that could easily get going. And the tornado warning, we'll see if that gets extended.